Welcome, true crime lovers. This is Underage and Full of Rage. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Underage and Full of Rage, the podcast where the convicted are minors and their crimes are anything but. I am your host, Becky, and with me, as always, is co-host Adam.
Hello.
I don't know where that just came from. So
that's how this day's going.
It might be because today we're in England. I don't know. Is that an England thing?
Yeah, why not?
I honestly don't know what happened there. So today we are, like I said, in England, Gateshead to be exact. Apparently, as of 2025, there is a reported 200,000, no, I can't read the number today. I don't know what's going on with me. 202,696 people. Does that make sense? Did I read that right?
202,698.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm in rare form right now. So there's that many people residing in the Northeast England town. According to Visit Northeast England website, Gateshead is referred to as an iconic cultural destination with a hub for vibrant and dynamic arts and culture. It also has a huge statue of an angel with a wingspan of 177 feet.
That's gigantic.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy looking. It's like a must-see if you're visiting there. And they basically are known for being like a picturesque, thank you, picturesque countryside, which offers many outdoor adventures in addition to the art and cultural lifestyle, making it a great destination for people of all ages. So, we are not going to go back that far at all. This horrible...
Wait, hang on.
Yes.
Is it just kicked in? Is it weird that there's a dedicated website to just the northeast of England? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, come visit the southeast of the United States. It's like, come to Florida.
Yeah.
Visit the West Coast. No, it's visit California. You know what I mean?
Is it? Yeah, because it's not like visit the East Coast. It's visit New York, visit Virginia, visit...
Like a specific place, not like an entire region. Come visit the Southwest. No, come.
Or like come visit the Pacific Northwest. No, let's go to Washington or go to Oregon.
And enjoy the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even think of it. It honestly didn't even faze me because I just know like their setup's totally different than the United States, so I just don't know. You know, I just take. Yeah. So I didn't even think of that. Interesting. Kind of makes a fellow wonder, don't it? So as I was saying, we are not going back that far at all. This horrible incident that we're about to discuss actually took place in April of, I was going to say last year. When I wrote this, it was last year, 2024, but that's crazy. So we're actually in, Happy New Year, everybody. That's right. We're in 2026 now. So it actually happened in April of 2024, but still obviously not that far away, or long ago, I should say. So I'm just going to get right into it. A little after 9 p.m. on April 27, 2024, police receive a 999 call from a garage worker who just had a young man stagger into the shop pleading for help. The young man is freezing, covered in blood, and was struggling to maintain his footing. He stumbles into the garage. He is telling the employee that he has just come from his home where he was attacked and that he's fearful the assailants are going to kill him. He also expresses deep concern for his father, who is still inside the home, as he too has been severely attacked. After the mechanic hangs up with the dispatch, he tries to help the man as best he can until the first responders get there. When the police show up to the young man's residence, the scene is awful, to say the least. What they find is 40-year-old Gary Balfield lying on his sofa in his living room, and he is covered in blood. He's unresponsive, he's pale, and he is not breathing. Paramedics jump into action and begin working on the father of 6, but unfortunately, it was not enough to save him. And ultimately, it was determined that Gary had been, DOA, basically. They just couldn't do anything to save him. Meanwhile, the other victim who managed to escape this horror show luckily is able to explain to authorities the chaotic scene that had unfolded. 21-year-old Luke Williams is Gary's son and had recently moved to the Felling area to reunite with his dad, who was described as a caring and friendly person. Prior to the attack, the two were hanging out at a local pub and returned home with some fish and chips, which I'm like, oh, it's probably so amazing.
So good.
Yeah, that's like the one reason I want to go there is to try the fish and chips. So they are, noshing on their fish and chips before they decide to go back out for the night. As the two are preparing to head out, Luke leads the way with Gary following behind. And as Luke turns into the living room area, he says he's met with two men dressed completely in black and wearing masks. He says that one of the assailants rushes at him and hits him in the face and then begins just stabbing him. The assailant apparently stabbed Luke multiple times. Luke tries to grab the knife while being attacked but was unsuccessful. So what he does then is he goes to turn and get away from the guy, obviously, who's stabbing him, and then he is stabbed in the back. He said that while he was being attacked, he could hear his dad screaming as he was also being attacked by the other assailant. He could see his dad with his arms and legs in the air as he was trying to fight off his attacker and protect himself from the repeated blows he was receiving to his head and body. Luke had no other choice but to try and make a run for it, so, hopefully he could go find and get some help. Somehow, which obviously has to be a horrible decision to make because you have to, leave your dad behind.
Yeah,
but
for help.
Yeah, what choice do you have?
But running at the same time.
Yeah, because if you stay, you're probably going to die, so, it's just, that's just gotta feel so awful. Somehow he does manage to get away from his attacker and he decides this is his chance, and with no other option than to leave his dad behind, Luke runs out of the house, and as he makes his way out of the house, he says he sees a teenage girl just standing there. And as he runs past her, he says, quote, "What the fuck are you doing here?" To which the teenage girl just stood silent.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the girl waiting outside Gary's home was 15-year-old Kriesha Stroud. She was the half-sister of Gary's ex-girlfriend and was very much there that night in tow with the two assailants who had just brutally attacked Luke and Gary, one of which was her boyfriend. The two assailants were 17-year-old Leandro Lopez and 17-year-old Jordan Tams. All three of these individuals didn't have, easy starts to life. Kriesha's childhood was described as disastrous. It was unstable, unhappy, and was kind of considered to be a loss of innocence. She experienced sexual abuse and exploitation, and pretty much from a very early age. And the fact that she hadn't been in trouble prior to this incident was actually surprising to people, considering the environment she grew up in.
Consider, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, when you're a kid, more than likely something crazy is gonna happen. You're gonna end up.
Yeah.
Getting involved in crazy shit.
So, well, then again, there are people that don't, so.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot do.
The odds are against you, though. Yeah. There's some acting out, usually.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I was going to say, well,
not going to commit murder.
Okay, I was going to say, a lot of shit happens to a lot of kids, and they grow up to be totally fine. Or maybe not fine, but are able to not do this shit. But anyhow. Her boyfriend Jordan suffered a similar background, with his childhood being deemed neglectful and a tragic read, which that's awful to hear.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that.
He witnessed as well as suffered from emotional and physical abuse from those who should have been protecting him and caring for him. It was said that child services had to intervene often, and that his home life was extremely dysfunctional, and that he was constantly surrounded by inappropriate role models. Their friend and partner in this crime, Leandro, was originally from Portugal. He never had a relationship with his mother and spent the first 6 years of his life in the care of his abusive father until 2012, when he ended up moving to the UK with his paternal aunt. She was able to provide him with a more stable and loving environment that was very much less chaotic than what he was used to with his upbringing. However, he was bullied a lot because coming from Portugal, he didn't speak English very well, and kids are dicks. So, I mean, so like even though like he was still finally getting that stable home life, he still had to deal.
Getting treated like shit everywhere else.
Yeah, which it's like
trade one for the other.
Exactly. So with all that said, even though it is terrible, it does not give you a free pass to behave like an asshole. Sorry.
Definitely not.
So while Gary and Luke were having a good time hanging out, Kriesha was busy recruiting Jordan and Leandro to commit this unspeakable act. Now, this attack is not random. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Gary and Luke were targeted, and the 3 teenagers went there with a very specific purpose in mind. So Gary was originally from Manchester, and he had moved to Gateshead in 2019 after meeting a woman online, whom he began a relationship with. The relationship didn't last, and eventually the two broke up and they went their separate ways. I bring this up because the woman he was dating was Kriesha's half-sister. So that's kind of how this is all tied in. I just wanted to make that clear. This is how, Kriesha, a 15-year-old, knows a 40-year-old man. This is how it's tied together. So, according to Kriesha, Gary was in possession of her sister's dog, and she wanted to go to the house and get the dog back. So, around 6:20 p.m. on April 27th, she has a quick conversation with Leandro and recruits him in this plan. She gets him on board first. So with him on board, she now has to convince her boyfriend, Jordan. So about 45 minutes later, she speaks with Jordan, and he too is on board. And within 15 minutes of this conversation, the 3 of them all meet up and head over to Gary's house.
Should get into sales. You could convince somebody to do some shit like that in 15 minutes. You should be selling the world. You should be a billionaire fucking car salesman.
I mean, that is...
If you could convince somebody to do some shit like that in 15 minutes, why are you not like the #1 salesperson on planet Earth?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, granted, they are like only 17-year-olds, but I mean, she's 15, and if she's that good of a swindler, because that's got to be like... Because sales... people, isn't that just like manipulation in a sense?
Schmooze people and
yeah.
shit.
Like that's what I meant. Yeah, schmoozing. Not well. I guess it's kind of it's kind of like a manipulating, thinking that like, hey, this is a good idea. Buy this product.
Great idea.
So apparently, she is not living up to her potential.
Just saying.
So by 8:50 p.m., the 3 of them are getting closer to Gary's home. Witnesses reported seeing the 3 engaged in a conversation where Kriesha was doing most of the talking and the other 2 were just nodding along to whatever she was saying. So, sales. While outside Gary's home, the 3 watch as him and Luke return from the pub. They are well aware now that the 2 men are home at this point, so the 3 teens discuss whether they should move forward or not with their plan, because obviously at this point, any type of interaction while in the home to get the dog is going to end in a confrontation. It's just, how is it not? You're trying to steal a dog or take a dog back, whatever the story is with the dog. Yeah, like obviously he's going to be like, you're not taking my fucking dog. It's going to turn into something. So, knowing this, the 3 decide that, nope, we're still going to go ahead and we're moving forward with this plan. Mission, get the fucking dog. So, Jordan, armed with a knife, and Leandro, armed with a screwdriver, head into the house while Kriesha patiently waits outside. They enter as Luke and Gary are preparing to head out, with Luke leading the way. And then, in the living room, that's where they are faced with each other, like I said before. So it was actually Jordan who rushed Luke first and hit him in the face, followed by several stabs to his left elbow. He had 2 to his shoulder and 1 to his left upper cheek. And then he also had 1 to his lower back, which damaged the bone in his spine. So I don't know how he was even able to run.
Hard fucking stab.
It must have been pure adrenaline that this kid could even move and run and get help. So while this was happening, Leandro immediately turns and attacks Gary with the screwdriver. After Luke is able to break free and make a run for it, Jordan then turns his rage onto Gary and starts stabbing him in the back, causing damage to his ribs, his lungs, and his liver. Gary was also attacked in his face because when he was found, he had significant bruising around his eyes and on his forehead. Leandro stabbed Gary also in the thigh, puncturing the major artery in his leg, and then basically just left him bleeding out to die alone on his sofa. So Gary would sustain in total 11 separate injuries, with 5 of them being to his back and the rest to his face, upper arms, the sole of his foot, and of course the one to his thigh. There was also damage to Gary's right lung and bowels as a result of the stabs to his back, which also contributed to his death. When the attack was done, they grabbed the dog, and the 3, dog included, are caught on CCTV shortly after the attack, fleeing the scene together. So you just see, like, literally you see, like, the chick in front, because you can tell, because she's got like, bleach blonde hair, and her bleach blonde hair is, like, peeking out of her black hood, and she's got the dog with her on a leash, and they're crossing the street, and then the other 2 are just, like, following behind with their hoods on, like, deep, like, their heads are deep in their hoods, though, so you can't really see them, but you just see the 3, yeah, and I feel like the most telling is her bleach blonde hair sticking out. Yeah. I will say this, though. The dog looked happy, so he must have known her.
Huh. What kind of dog was it?
I don't remember.
Must have been some dog, that's all I'm saying.
But it was, I feel like it was like jumping along and all happy. So, I don't know if he knew her. I don't know. I just totally pulled that out of my ass. Don't quote me on that. He could have just been a very happy dog. Like, oh, I'm going for a walk. Let's go. So, I don't know. But he looked very happy. I was putting that out there. Like, the dog didn't look like he was being taken against his will or, like, traumatized. The dog is okay. Yeah. No animals were hurt in the making of it. So at some point, Leandro disposes of the screwdriver, and both Jordan and him burn their clothes from that night. It didn't take long for the cops to tie the 3 teenagers to the crime, and they were promptly detained at His Majesty's pleasures. During the trial, a recording that was unknowingly taken after the incident revealed Kriesha boasting about the crime, as she expressed how glad she was that Gary died and how disappointed she was Luke didn't. She also was claiming that she watched as they stabbed them to bits, that's a quote unquote, stabbed them to bits, through a window, and that when Luke was running from the home, she could see his guts were hanging out and everything. And she even went as far to make, like, a sound like, ugh, after she said that. Like just to casually explaining, like, and then, like, blah, 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 ugh.
Asshole. Some people.
Yeah. The only thing I was thinking of was the Parks and Rec. She's a real piece of work. Real piece of work. So it would later be revealed that she couldn't have witnessed anything through the window, because when cops got to the scene, the blinds were down and covered in blood splatter, meaning they were closed the entire time the attack was happening, and she would have had basically no clear, like, view or shot of the murder. So I'm like, I just think that's an odd flex.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really odd flex. That she probably wishes in retrospect she could take back, because now they're, like, clearly, even if you didn't see it and you're lying about seeing it, like, you're showing some type of weird excitement about doing this to these people that makes you so culpable.
Yeah.
Like,
there's something off, yeah.
It's like the people who get into prison and then think they have to, like, admit to the murder, like, they openly admit to the murder to make them seem harder, so then it's like...
And then they just end up getting convicted.
Yeah, well, then it's like, well, were you just, like, flexing so that way you seem harder than you are, or are those things true? Regardless, you're an idiot, because you just admitted to shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's, like, weird. It's just a weird flex. So... she wasn't the only one who showed no remorse in the aftermath. However, she was the one that had expressed the most callous sentiments of what they had done. The court did hear that a month before the attack, Jordan was heard saying he was getting fucking mad. He wanted to kill someone. Apparently, that was a statement he had said, and that he often had previously spoke about using a knife in very graphic detail. As well as also prior to this incident, there is stuff on his record where he was out in public with a knife. So I don't know. There's something there with him and knives. They made a point of constantly mentioning his, like, I don't know if it was like an obsession, a thing, I don't know what it was, but they just kept making like a point, and everything I was like looking at and researching was like,
was it a fetish?
Something. It was just, I don't know if it's just like, if he was in the States and he could have a gun, I don't know if it would be like that, like wheeling around a gun, like, because then obviously over there you're not having a gun, you're having a knife. So I don't know if it's like that equivalent, like to make you seem like you're big and bad, better than you are. You know what I mean?
I got it, yeah.
Like, I'm cool. Don't fuck with
badass.
me. Yeah.
Blade. Yeah.
I'll cut you. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. There's just something there.
Something.
So in court.
There's something already.
Yeah. What is it? I want to stab something. All right. Yeah. In court, it also came out that Kriesha's half-sister had made claims that Luke had attacked her a few weeks prior, but as far as I know, there's nothing to back these claims, and I'm not even sure her sister even actually made these claims, or if this was them just trying to add another reason to justify their attack, because they had also made heavy claims, like, and I mean heavy-ass claims about Gary, that were absolutely ridiculous, and it didn't do anything to like help them in their defense or anything. The only thing it did, honestly, was it just made an already grieving family experience even more pain.
Even worse, yeah.
Because they had to sit there and literally listen and hear lie after lie spewed, like disgusting lies about their loved one. So I'm not even going to like put the bullshit rumors out there, because that's all they are, and I personally don't think they're true at all. I don't think there's anything. I think it was just them being stupid, thinking like that's gonna, that justifies it, like something like that. Like, disgusting.
Stupidity.
Yeah. So what it comes down to is that this whole thing appears to be stemming from the retrieval of a dog that Kriesha believed belonged to her half-sister and not Gary. And I don't even know if that's true. This to me is the human life means very little to me right now. Like, that's what that is.
It's a dog.
And honestly, the fact that this is the end result is absurd. It's absurd. This is where we are at as a society. Like, what is wrong with these kids?
Clearly a lot.
I don't understand it. I don't think I will.
5 minutes, I go out to the garbage, I find you another dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, that's what I'm saying, like, whether it was even if it was true or not. It's one of those things, though, I'm like, this is not how you handle the situation.
No.
Like, and why is this your go-to? Like, why is
the fact that that's your go-to shows us you're fucking off.
Yeah. So, the courts believed that the three decided to kill the two men shortly before they entered the home, and believed that the initial plan was to originally just get the dog, but after the two had came home, the plan quickly changed to include attacking the men as well. It was also determined that out of all the stab wounds, Leandro was responsible for the one to Gary's thigh, and the rest were all Jordan's doing. So, this is also including the injuries that Luke had received. So basically, like, the stab wounds between both victims were from Jordan. And Leandro was responsible for only one wound, and that was the one to Gary's thigh, which was extremely fatal. Serious. But, like, that just tells you a lot as well. Because Leandro was attacking Gary full on while Luke was being attacked. So that clearly must have been, he wasn't stabbing him, though. He must have just been punching him, like, hitting him, because I'm assuming that's where Gary's, like, bruising to his head and face came from.
Yeah.
But, like, he only stabbed somebody once. It doesn't make it better or anything, but it's just crazy to think that, like, out of that whole attack, like, Jordan's mainly responsible for stabbing two people a shit ton of times.
A bunch of times.
So this also suggested to the court that it was Jordan who led the attack and inflicted the most violence on the two victims. So even with all the evidence proving that Kriesha orchestrated this entire attack, she maintained her innocence throughout the trial and denied any type of scheme or plan to attack Gary and Luke and to take the dog. Like, she wouldn't even admit to taking the dog. Like, nothing. She had no part of it. She claimed a plan was simply ridiculous and that she had nothing to do with what happened. Which, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's so stupid, though, because you're literally the only link.
Yeah.
These kids probably wouldn't even know probably who these people were if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
You're the only link to these two people.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. And she's the one who has the dog in hand when they're running across the street on the CCTV. So, Leandro and Jordan, on the other hand, they obviously, it was apparent they did this, so they claimed that they just never had any intention to use violence, which I find a little hard to believe.
Seems like bullshit.
Yeah, it's a little hard to believe.
But that's just me.
Yeah. So the courts came to the conclusion that misguided revenge is what put this whole situation into motion. And they believed that Luke was the intended target. At the same time, the court was unclear about the teens' intentions for Gary, but felt the teens did most likely decide that Gary would die too shortly before entering the home. So when they were revising their plan, this is when the court suggested that Gary's fate was decided. So when they realized that they both were home, that's when the court, they felt like this must have been when they put the plan into action to, like, full on attack them and take the dog. Not just the dog and whatever. Yeah, and whatever happens, happens. So with the proof that Kriesha was in fact the ringleader here, the prosecution argued that she was just as guilty as Jordan and Leandro, which, I mean, yeah. Her lawyer argued that she was abandoned, abused, and let down by adults her entire life. She witnessed and experienced violence in her past and suffered from PTSD and started using marijuana at the age of 8 to cope with her issues.
Ooh, that's young.
Yeah. Her lawyer also stated that she never encouraged the boys to go through with this plan and that there is no evidence that that shows she knew about the violent attack that would ensue once the boys entered the home. Because she was never present during the attack, she never went in the house. I think that's irrelevant. I think it's irrelevant. So her lawyer stated that she never encouraged the boys to go through with this plan and that there is no evidence that shows she knew about the violent attack that would ensue once the boys had entered the home because she was never present during the attack. She never went in the house. But you did send them in there on a mission with a knife and a screwdriver.
It's one hell of a defense attorney.
Do you think that's a good argument?
No, but I gotta give an argument for something.
I know, you gotta try whatever you can, right?
Gave it his best shot.
I mean, if Casey Anthony's walking free, anything could happen, right?
Yeah.
So, Leandro's lawyer said that all three of them were damaged goods and pointed out how dreadful his upbringing was. So I feel like he gave up. Yeah. To me, that says you give up.
Yeah.
They're all.
This is a fucking waste at this.
They're
point.
all damaged goods.
Let's move on to the next one.
Have you ever heard of a lawyer refer to their client as damaged goods? I mean, look at him. He's damaged goods.
I can't say that I have. I can't say that I have.
When I read that, I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like I shouldn't be laughing. But that is such a, like, who says that about their client?
From an attorney.
About their own client. Look at him, sir. The damaged goods.
Taps him on the shoulder when he says it, like a little proud of him and shit.
Yeah, I thought that was just like, that's an interesting way to put that. Okay. And he's supposed to be in your corner? Like, I just found that weird.
Yeah.
So Jordan's lawyer played a similar card and spoke about how awful his childhood was and how his emotional maturity level is not one of the average 17-year-old, and said that it was consistent with an individual who is much younger. His lawyer also made it a point to express that had Jordan been given a fairer and better start to his life, he could have made a quality life for himself. Again, plenty of kids that live out there in the world today have shitty upbringings and they don't murder people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just
It's true.
Yeah. Like, it's sad that you have really shitty life. I get that, but that doesn't give you a free pass then to go and take somebody's life who is under, like...
No, that's not cool.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with your past, has nothing to do with your childhood. Turn around and go murder your parent. Fine. I would understand that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right, but I would understand
More
it.
Understandable than a random.
Yeah. That have nothing to do with anything.
As a dog.
Yeah. Because your 15-year-old girlfriend is an asshole. Like, no. You're 17. You should have been like, you're an asshole. No. Right?
I don't know. 17-year-olds are typically pretty stupid.
Right. Well, if he's also 17, so he's... Well, I feel like 17-year-old boys are basically 15-year-olds mentally, because they're... Guys are always dumb and younger than they're, like... I don't know. I feel like even though you're 17, you're still, like, you know...
No, I don't.
But what I'm saying is, as the older one in the situation, you should be the one talking your girlfriend off that ledge.
Oh, yeah, you should be. That being said.
I'm like, having said that. So, a constant theme amongst the bystanders was the lack of remorse the three teenagers had expressed in the hours, the days, and pretty much the whole trial, following the horrific attack and everything. So everyone, couldn't stop talking about how, like, children were responsible for this unthinkable act. And, like, it was, like, really heavily focusing on, like, oh, it's devastating, especially so because it's done by children. So Luke responded basically saying, like, up your ass with these fucking, like, children, quote, children, all the children. So he said, like, essentially how these children stole his best friend and changed his family's lives forever. He said he felt like what that had happened that night was senseless, and seeing the three laughing and joking pre- and post-court sessions told him that they don't have any remorse. Which, I mean, he's right. It was reported that eventually, as the trial was underway, each of them did start to show an understanding of the situation and the consequences they were facing. I don't know if that really counts as remorse, but it was also stated that more specifically, both Leandro and Jordan had begun to express their remorse for the crime they had committed. How genuine it is, I don't really know, but, like, are you actually sorry for what you did, or are you sorry because you got caught and now you're going to prison?
Court.
Right? Court. And I mean, when it came to her, it didn't say anything about really, like, showing remorse or feeling sorry, but it just said that, like, she started to grasp that she grasped an understanding of what she did, like the level of, like, really? Come on. I don't know.
Asshole.
Yeah, it just pissed me off. Like, as a 15-year-old, you know what murder is. You know what killing somebody is. And if you're just going to do it and then, like, not even feel anything about it and have no qualms about it, you're a scary fucking person.
It's probably because she's been so... What was this, 2024? She's probably been so desensitized because of the fucking internet.
Well, I mean, she's damaged goods. Yeah. Well, that too. Yeah. That could be, too, why people just go to this, like, next level of unnecessary bullshit.
You watch so many videos of people dying and getting killed after a while. You just...
Or even just fighting.
Yeah.
You watch, like there's just... I don't understand those videos. I don't understand why you want to watch people, like, get knocked out and... Like, I don't get it. Like, on the street. I don't get it.
Assholes.
So, after all was said and done, the three of them were found guilty of murder and attempted murder and were held at His Majesty's pleasure, which is ultimately, like we discussed, was it the last? No, it wasn't the last one, but it was fairly recent when we went through what His Majesty's pleasure is, the life sentence.
Yeah.
The judge for them, though, did decide to give each of them a minimum sentence and said that they would only ever be released as long as they could prove they were no longer a danger to society. Leandro had some additional charges placed on him for an incident he was involved in the previous year, which I thought was really weird because I would think you would have to go through completely separate court proceedings, considering the incident has nothing to do with this, and it's not connected at all. It's a completely separate thing where he got in trouble with the law. So I don't know why they're doing it now. The only thing I can say is it's a plus because it saves taxpayers money from going through another court process. But isn't that weird?
That is weird, but they do stuff differently over there.
That's true. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But I would think from a year before that wasn't already figured out. Isn't that weird?
Court cases get pushed out so far all the time.
Oh, I guess. Okay. Well, I am going to discuss what he did, so I just find it weird because it seemed like it seemed like it would be like an open and shut case. Well, we'll discuss it more. So I'm going to do his last so we can go over what he did too, because he obviously gets extra charges added because it's from that incident.
Yeah.
So again, I'll save him for I'll go over him last. So Kriesha, she ends up receiving 20 years for the murder, so that's her minimum. So it's like His Majesty's pleasure, but then with a minimum of 20 years for the murder. She gets 15 years for the attempted murder to be served concurrently. She also received credit for the time she had been spending in prison during the trial, so her remaining sentence left to serve at the time came to 19 years and 93 days. Jordan received 26 years for the murder, 20 for the attempted murder. They also were to be served concurrently, and then he too received credit for the time he had spent while on trial, making his remaining sentence at the time 25 years and 91 days. So Leandro, like I said, had another incident. So this incident, he was involved in an attack and robbery, and this was addressed as well. So what happened was CCTV caught him and two other kids the previous year following a man who they then, like, it shows them knocking this dude to the ground, and they just start assaulting, like, the shit out of him. Like, just some random dude. They just start kicking and stomping him and basically, like, jumping him. It is apparent that Leandro started the attack and was, like, basically more or less they determined he was the leader of this incident. And based off of the footage they could see that he pretty much like attacked him, or they like attacked him, and then they steal this guy's phone. However, on the guy's phone there was his bank card. So the group used the man's card to like go buy food and shit, and then I'm not sure what other purchases there were, but they like were basically like all sharing the guy's card. And like I feel like it's teenagers, so it's probably like fast food and shit, but like the bigger issue with this whole incident though, with the stealing of the phone and using the bank card, was that after every use of the card, regardless of which kid was using it, they always brought it back to Leandro, which also gave them more of the
like he was the ringleader.
Yeah, it like helped them pin it more on him. Like he was like as if he was like doling it out, and then they were returning it to him, and then he would use it at will. But then he would like share it with them, but they had to return it. So, I mean, obviously, like you're not going to return it to the person who's not in charge.
Yeah.
So this action landed him additional charges for fraud, assault, and robbery. When it came time to his sentencing, he received 26 years for the murder, 20 for the attempted murder, 2 years for the robbery, fraud, and assault, but they were all made to be served concurrently. So I feel like...
So he's out 26 years if he's good.
Yeah, like I just feel like why even... I understand you had to do all that, but like I feel like it's a slap in the face to the guy who got fucking attacked and robbed.
Yeah.
Just cram that on in the end.
He's doing that sentence at the same time he's doing a sentence for something else.
Yeah, like, it's just like, ugh, why'd you even put me through this? He also received credit for the time he served while on trial as well. So I should not have said as well, because I also said also, sorry. Making his remaining time 25 years and 93 days. So Mr. Justice Constable described the incident as a dreadful attack, and that it was shocking, not just for its brutality and senselessness, but because it was encouraged and carried out by 3 who were at the time children. This was one of the many statements that prompted Luke to be like, fuck this shit with this fucking children bullshit. Like, I think they lost the right to be considered it, like, oh, children, when they fucking slaughtered my dad and tried to kill me.
Over a dog.
Exactly. So, but that was one of the many. As of today, Kriesha and Leandro are still serving their time. However, things did not bode so well for Mr. Jordan. On October 18th, 2025, not that long ago, and essentially only like 9 or 10 months into his sentence, Jordan Tams, at this time, is now 18. He would be found dead while being held at His Majesty's Pleasure, Deerbolt. This is a young offender institute in Barnard Castle, County Durham. This facility holds offenders ranging from ages 15 to 21. Why he died, how he died, has not been answered yet, and I'm not sure if the details of his death will ever be released. The last the facility spoke on it was in a public statement where they said, just like every death that occurs at the institution, Jordan's will be investigated. And as of today, as far as I can tell, his murder is still under investigation, or death, not murder, I shouldn't say murder, sorry. His death is still under investigation, and that's all we know. Pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
Right?
That is.
I was like, whoa, damn.
What happened?
That's what I want to know. I watched a whole entire, like, documentary from, like, I think it was, like, 1999 on the facility, and pretty crazy stuff. It's weird because they're like following like a couple of kids that are like getting out soon, and like the way they like, it's weird because it's totally like, it's basically like if boarding school met juvie, like that's what it seemed like there. It was weird. Yeah, it was really fucking weird. So, but yeah, I wonder. It didn't in that thing. I mean, that was from the 90s. In that thing, there was nothing like that said anything nefarious went on there or anything like that. It seemed very like, just like whipping whipping these boys into shape. It seemed like they like that they to me in the thing, it's like I feel like our juvie centers are like a nightmare, whereas like there, like it seemed like everyone was like respectful and like well behaved, and they like went to class and like did their chores. Like it didn't.
Yeah, I feel like here it's just like prison but for little kids.
Yeah, and they're all
teenagers,
and they're fucking animals. It's juvie's like crazy in the States, so that's one thing I don't know. Maybe they're doing something right over there. Again, though, that was the 90s, so I don't know what it's like now. Who knows what funding and whatnot.
Who knows what it was actually like.
That's true, too. I mean, when the cameras do go up, people tend to be a little bit more like, oh, hey. So.
Prim and proper.
Yeah. So, the good news out of all of this is that Luke did go on to make a full recovery from his injuries. I mean, considering the state he was in, that's pretty freaking amazing. Like, his spine was stabbed, so, like, thank God for that. But other than that, I mean, the pain he and his family go through on a regular basis in the wake of this tragedy, I can't even imagine. And I only hope as time passes, each day just gets a little easier. Like, that's all, I feel like that's all you can hope right now for them, because it's still so fresh. This is so fresh.
This didn't happen long ago.
No, it's just so sad. And that, everyone, was the attempted murder of Luke Williams and the completely senseless murder of Gary Balfield by 15-year-old Kriesha Stroud, 17-year-old Jordan Tams, and 17-year-old Leandro Lopez. Which means it is now time for our shithead of the week. Adam, who do you have for us?
We have, excuse me, 28-year-old named Jermaine from Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, we've been there.
Yeah. And this was actually like 2 years ago, because this was January 24th.
Oh, damn. All right.
And apparently at that time there were blizzard-like conditions on the interstate. I can't remember which one. But there's a guy cruising. He sees somebody walking down the interstate, and what do you do in the blizzard? You fucking help people.
Yeah.
So he picks this dude up.
Oh, no.
And he attacks him. He tries to carjack him. So the guy fights him off. He's like a 50-year-old, and he's able to fight him off. So this dude keeps walking down the fucking interstate. Somebody else picks him up.
Oh, he was able to like kick him out of the car and stuff.
Car.
Oh, okay.
Another person comes by, sees him, helps him out, gives him a ride, because, you know, that's what you do. He starts attacking this woman, right?
Oh, no.
And she, it said she was getting weird vibes from him, so that probably tells you everything. So
this is why it doesn't pay to be a good Samaritan sometimes.
Yeah.
This is why people don't stop.
Don't stop, yeah.
And it sucks because I feel like the times when the people who need you to stop, they drive past because you can't blame them because like
they don't know what's
I could be a serial killer.
Be a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Be a meth head or something.
Yeah. Oh God.
So he attacks her, but she gets the car pulled over, and they start wrestling. She gets kicked out of the car, and he starts like kneeling on her neck to try to get the keys from her because she jacked the keys from her.
Oh.
She jacked the keys from the car, so he couldn't take it. He ends up biting her.
Ooh.
Because, you know, that's what lunatics fucking do.
The fuck?
Gets the keys from her, jumps in the car, takes off, and a simple traffic stop was how he got arrested. No crazy car chase, no fucking running and gunning. No, it was a simple traffic stop. Cops pulled him over.
Did he just not?
Like, you're done.
Well, I was gonna say, did he fucking Joel Rifkin it and like not use his blinker?
I don't remember what the actual like
traffic stop was. I wonder.
It didn't even say it was like a felony traffic stop or anything. It just said a traffic stop.
Simple traffic. I bet you it was a blinker. Well, so then I guess when they ran the car, did that woman must.
Yeah.
This day and age, she had a cell phone, so she probably immediately called the cops, reported her car stolen. So when they pulled him over for this, it came up as a stolen car.
You got a shitload of fucking felonies. How crazy is that, though?
That
simple traffic stop.
Fucking what an asshole. Well, see, like that's also
this
where
always turned into chases and crazy shit. This dude's just like,
well, that's also where though I feel like you're an asshole because here, like people who are actually doing like a good service, trying to help you out, and then you still have the audacity to be a dick. Like, why couldn't you just take the ride?
Gotta be an asshole.
And then, like, I don't know, go be a dick to somebody who deserves it. Like, I just feel like
doesn't hold the door open for you.
Yeah, like use that time.
Somebody picking you up in a blizzard.
Like God, going out of their way because they don't know. Like
they could have blasted you with snow and laughed. And,
exactly.
Like a taste of a good life, you sack of
shit. On that note, thank you for hanging out with us today. Please don't forget to follow our show on whatever platform you listen to us on and show us some love by following us on Instagram, as well as tell your friends to check us out. And until next time, have a good one.
Adopt your dog.
Adopt your dog?
Yeah.
Oh! Well, usually you make a reference to the shithead of the week. That's why I was like, what? Adopt your dog.
Well, you should help people in blizzards, so I don't know. But I feel like this is a reason you shouldn't help people.
I don't know. I guess use your best judgment. No. If the person looks like a lunatic, maybe don't stop. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd like to think I would stop, but then I'm too paranoid that I don't know.
Hobo or hipster. You never know.
Yeah, hobo or hipster. You don't know. Jesus. All right. See ya.
Bye.